Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Soulfax and we are again playing some Minecraft today. This is an update on my build, the most recent one that I was working on. The Jungle Cathedral? Jungle Cathedral? Yes, I think that's what I called it previously. So, as you can probably see, I raised the walls here, and this is the maximum reach the walls are gonna go, so this is the maximum height. I don't know about this little thing. So this is kind of like an overlap or just another layer. This is one block behind it, and I believe this is only 5 blocks tall and this is 6 blocks tall. So there is a noticeable difference. I think this is actually 2 blocks taller than this one. Let's just check that out. I have it up there. Have a way to get up there. Finally installed it, and then I ran out of ladders. But yeah, it's weird. I'm in a forest and I don't have a lot of wood. I have no time to collect wood. I literally spend all of my time just farming cobblestone, because you wouldn't imagine how much cobblestone is needed to make this, and then how much time you need to spend actually smelting that goddamn cobblestone. So this is what 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and I believe that up there is 6. It should be 6. Yeah, it is 6 from the looks of it. I can already see it up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So yes, that is 6 blocks up there. So let me give you a layout of how this is supposed to look. So first of all, there's going to be a roof here, or I'm actually having a really hard time on deciding on where I want to have the roof and where I want to have the tower. So naturally, this part is a little bit wider than this part. This around here, where these 2 blocks are, and these 2 columns, where these 2 columns are. Let me just jump down there. No feather falling. No feather falling, I need to get it. So these 2 parts, this block range, is the widest part of the actual building itself. So it would seem logical to me to actually place the tower over here. So it's like very, very large and rectangular. Oh, not rectangular, excuse me, circular. But still, it would be kind of cool to make it a roof over here, so have a huge goddamn roof, and then make the tower over here. But again, it would look kind of weird if you're entering through the tower. I don't know, it's just my opinion, but the cathedral actually in front of my house, right across my house, the cathedral in my hometown, you actually enter through the towers. So the towers are out front, and the end of the building, the rest of the building is out back. So I don't know, I gotta think about this. So no, really, the only thing that I did is actually raise the tops, because I've been doing some other stuff recently. I've been teaching myself how to program stuff. So I went to Code Academy. codeacademy.com, you gotta check it out. They got awesome tutorials for everything ranging from HTML, including CSS and jQuery, and a lot of other stuff. They have Python, JavaScript, and it's very easy to learn. You gotta check them out. They're really, really cool. But enough promotion for things that I don't own or have no benefits from. So I've had a lot of time to work on this, but I did this yesterday, raised the roof, and now I have a general idea of how this looks. It's kind of narrow when I look at it now. This part, I'm not liking it. Maybe it's the position of the columns, but if I move them 1 across, it would be only 3 blocks to pass through. I'm kind of happy with the 4, or alternatively, oh my god, my English is kind of weird today. I can move them a block to the right, but then they will be touching the wall, which I really don't like. And again, this is not going to be the material or the style I'm going to be using. This is just so I know how it actually looks like. But yeah, enough of this. Unfortunately, I have not made any progress on the redstone contraption that I was working on that item counter that I was working on, because the main thing that I'm having a problem with is slime balls. Slime balls are needed to make sticky pistons, and my design uses, how many of it? It's 12 times 4, 48 pistons just for the memory cell. I got all of this finished here, and the only thing I need to do now is get all of the pistons, all the slime balls and all the pistons. I need to clear out this area. I got a nice work pick here. Efficiency 3, I'm breaking. Efficiency 4, I'm breaking 3. I know you can put efficiency 5, but nah, I don't have a experience farm or anything. Haven't found a single goddamn dungeon. I don't care about the loot from the dungeon. I just need the spawner to make a experience farm. I don't have enough experience. Most experience I get is just from smelting the cobblestone that I smelt. But yeah, so no progress on this whatsoever, but I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you how the memory cells that I'm going to be using, where I store the amount of stacks, the amount of items that I have, are gonna be looking like after I actually finish them in survival world. So let's jump over to my creative world just for a second, and I'm gonna show you to them. So yeah, let's go. Welcome back. We are in my redstone world, in my creative world, where I test all of my redstone stuff, and oh, I fell down. There's not a lot to see, a lot to see really here. But yeah, without further ado, voila! So this huge thing is, let me just get on ground level to show you how huge it is what I came up. So this is the redstone cell thing that saves how much items, how much stacks of which items I currently have. And to have this working, I need to have 4 of these. So this is what? This is a lot of blocks through a lot of blocks. And also this is a lot of blocks through a lot of blocks. So this is 2 of those, and that is basically the panel that I'll be using, the thing that I showed you in my normal world and not in my creative world. In my, I wouldn't call it a let's play. Is it a let's play? Okay, let's call it in my let's play world. So this is where the stacks is going to be shown. And how this works is basically, firstly, this is a counter. So how to explain it? So basically, yeah, this is a monostable circuit which shortens the length of an average pulse from a button to only 1 tick. And what it does, it turns this on when you, which actually, this is a T flip-flop. So when this is on, if you give it another signal, this will not go off. So this will emit a redstone signal, and if you power it again, it will not go down. So it's a T flip-flop without a flop, if you get what I mean. And when I press the button again, that will go up. So it's basically a counter. If I press it 2 more times, did I press it 2 or only once? So 1 more, there is a third button up there, a third block up there, and a third redstone signal. As you can see, it's what? Currently playing on 2. Did I break something? Did I break something? Let me just trying to track down the wire. Tracking down the wire. It actually cuts off somewhere around here. Video settings, particles, all. You can see where it cuts off. So it goes up to here. Oh, that's where it cuts off. Okay, I can fix that later. But genuinely, usually there's 3 of those wires running here, 3 of those lights running, which symbolize there are 3 stacks of a certain item, whichever item is getting to here. So whatever this gets a redstone pulse, whichever redstone pulse, even if it's a long pulse, like a more than 2-3 second pulse, it will convert it into only 1 short pulse from this monostable circuit, and it will add 1 more number to it. This is the reset button, which just push it, it does this, and then it powers off all of these torches for just a second, which in terms lets this piston lower itself into an off position or a 0 position if you want to watch it from binary. So basically, whenever there is a stack on, where is it? It's, oh, a little bit lost here. So whenever there is a stack on this redstone plate, it will send a redstone signal, because it will reach those 15 blocks that I was talking about in the last video. It will manage to power it, go to a repeater, and then it will send a short signal to it. So basically, this is the design. How it works is, it's not very complicated, and before you start saying anything, before I start explaining this, I gotta say there are easier and more compact way of doing this without even using a single piston. I believe I know a way to make this work without even using a single piston, but this is simply my design, and it looks kind of complicated. So like, it looks like a smart person did it for something far more complicated than just counting items and remembering like a single freaking number. So yeah, when this gets a redstone signal, it sends a very short pulse, which in turn powers this line, which powers 2 repeaters. This first repeater powers this block, this piston, which pushes up this block. Since this redstone power torch is powered by itself and is powering this repeater, when this block goes up, will power through this block, and this repeater will power both the block and the piston below it. So this will always stay up until you unpower this torch. Just an example. When I press this is powered and is powering through it. So even if there is no more redstone signal being given to it, but because it's powering itself, basically, it is powering through here. And that it goes, one of the lights it's turned on. And how I basically regulate that I don't press 1 and all of them turn on is basically I get this piston here. So let me just reset it again. So when I press the monostable circuit, you see here that it only emits a 1 tick signals, which is very, very short. What this does is when it goes up here, it powers this redstone line, which in turn powers this repeater. There is a hole in here, and the repeater cannot power through a empty space. So there needs to be a block or a redstone wire or anything between it, except a, it's not a translucent, it is a see-through block, so glass and ice. It can power through ice. So when this gets power, when this monostable circuit gets up here, when this T flip-flop actually completes, this piston pushes through here. But by the time that this piston pushes through here, the signal is non-existent and it wears off. How should I say it? It basically wears off and it can't push through. And so to get the second one, I just need to push it once. As you can see, the circle is complete, and now it can power. And now when I give it another impulse, another signal, it just goes through here and turns this on and then powers this here. So yeah, it's very simple like that. It's very, very simple like that. It's robust, but it does the job. What I did here is actually I needed to, since this is 3 in between, I needed to actually make it so it's only 1 block between each line that is connecting to these things. What are they called? These, oh my god, redstone lamps, which indicate how many items you have, how many stacks of which items you have. So I just need to run a few lines over to here and over to here, which in terms has us over to here. This is actually not necessary. Really, it's not. I can put a redstone repeater here, but my original idea with this was when I have, let's say we have, let's just give it one more pulse there. So when we have 3 stacks of item being shown and remembered by this memory cell, in the early stages of this build, I was thinking about how can I actually make it so I only need 1 wire for all of this. And it didn't work out, but I still made this little thing. So when this is powered, when this block is powered, when this redstone repeater gets powered, it powers every single one of these blocks. So it powers every single block, every single repeater before it. So it's basically you need just 1 redstone signal to turn all of this on, but if it goes the other way, if you turn this on, only this one will be on. So yeah, it is a useless thing basically, but it's kind of useful here because since this is 1 block, there is 1 block in between all of these repeaters and these blocks. I needed to make it so there is no blocks in between it, and so that the redstone signal do not interfere with each other, at least to the left. They can interfere to the right as much as they want to, because so it goes 1 2 3 4 5 6, so it counts from the right to the left, or if you're looking from the front, from the left to the right, which is actually the opposite of what people usually count, but I don't know, it's kind of my thing. So yeah, so I needed to separate all of this, so in case if I, let's say, if there's 2 stacks, it wants to display that there's only 2 stacks by just powering these 2 items here. And don't worry, I know there are 3 lights turned on here, and there's only 2 lights getting shown over here, because I messed up something up. This redstone line is not reaching all the way, it's stopping over here. I need to put a repeater somewhere or something. So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, I can't have it if there's only 2 stacks being shown, display 2 stacks only being remembered by this machine over here, that there is interference and that it lights up the 3rd or the 4th redstone lamp here. So yeah, that is basically it. And what I did here is I connected a second one. I built a second one, so these are 2 memory cells, so they can be, let's say this is gold and this is iron, so I can actually use just one of these wires to get it through here, so I don't need to spend as much space as I would usually have to. This is actually very simple, and I could actually shorten the length of this to about this block, so I can move it, what, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 blocks. I can move it around 7 blocks to the right and still get it to work properly. But I was messing around with this. Don't ask what is that, I just, yeah. And then imagine I need 2 more, which should be above those 2. Let's say they are at least 1 block in between needs to be. I would rather if there's 2 blocks or maybe even 3. So just I have a lot of places to work with, a lot of space to work with. And what then I would do is basically just connect them to this. I would just have a, like, this block to here, a redstone signal, and when I press a button, when it enables that it shows a stack from there, just do that. But another thing that I'm having a problem with currently is how the hell do I actually make it display only the stacks that I want to be shown? So let me just explain to you what I'm thinking. Oh, wrong button. press the reset button and press the reset button there. So I will have 4 of these things, and I need to regulate on a wall over here. Let me just build it very fast. I will have 4 different items being counted, and I need 4 different buttons for this. So I have 4 buttons here, and let's say I want to press this button, and I want it to show me how many stacks of iron I have. Press this button, how many stacks of diamond I have. The thing is, I still haven't figured out how I'm going to regulate which one of these memory cells is displaying the information that is currently holding. I was thinking about, I really don't know. I need to stretch the line from here, from those 4 buttons, which I'm probably not going to have in this order, but more likely in this order, just so I don't have signals interfering with each other. I can use hoppers and blocks, and not hoppers, excuse me, repeaters and blocks and everything to separate the signals so it's not interfering with each other. To one of these things with, I don't know exactly, but you will see when it's all over it will actually work. This is actually connected, all of it, just in parts. Everywhere it's in parts. This is not a working module, unfortunately, but yeah, it will be, trust me. So okay, let's get on to back to my survivor world. Yeah, let's get back to my survivor world. Okay, welcome back to my survival world. So we are here, and what others to say? It's almost dark, and I want to sleep. No, I don't want to sleep. It's actually very hot here in Croatia. It's like 37 degrees, so this is a good time to end the video. Just wanted to get back into the survival world so we finish where we left off. There will be more updates on this build later this week. I am planning on doing 1 video every 3 days at least. I will try to do that. It's kind of hard because it takes me like a few hours to render the video and 3-4 hours to actually upload it. This one is going to be even longer because I had 3 sections of it. So yeah, I hope they will see me in a day after I record this, or even 2 days after I record this. I hope it's a day, but if it's 2 days, excuse me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. My name has been Soulfax, and until next time guys, keep it steady and carry on.